today I'm going to be filming this pink and blue cut crease featuring the BH Cosmetics Galaxy Chic palette. Oh, so I hope you don't mind, but I was actually snacking through the entire video, so just thought I'd mention that. I'm just going to be taking the shade Jupiter on a fluffy blending brush, and I'm just going to lightly be popping that in and above my crease, as that's going to act as my first transition shade. Going back and forth in windscreen wiper motions and also using circular motions at times just to make it all nice and seamless. Now just taking the shade Aphrodite and the same brush, and I'm just going to be deepening up the crease and just starting to build up the intensity of the colour whilst creating depth to the eye socket. Taking a flat shader brush, I decided to go back into the same colour and then onto the crease, just packing it on, just because even though the colours are very beautiful, I found that they weren't super pigmented, so you really do have to work with the colours to build it up. In saying that, there wasn't a great deal of fallout, and then I'm just going to go back into the same colours and blend it out again with the same fluffy brush. Using the shade Venus and then literally doing the same thing again. I just wanted to introduce a slight orange tone to the look, then taking a clean blending brush and just making sure that there are no harsh lines. With a pencil brush, I'm just focusing the shade Prometheus, I think that's how you pronounce it, in the crease, and then mixing Aphrodite and Prometheus on that same blending brush, and I'm just blending those colours all together so it's nice and seamless. I'm basically just going back and forth between all of the colours and then packing it on, blending it out, and just literally doing that until I've built up the intensity that I desire. Here I am snacking again and doing a little dance. Now I'm just going to be taking the shade Mars and a different pencil brush, and I'm just going to be popping that in the crease again and just defining it a little bit more, and then getting that same blending brush we've been using the whole time, not putting any more colour on, but just using what's left on the brush to blend that harsh line away. And now time to cut that crease. Now bear with me guys, I'm not that great at these, so it did take me a little bit of time, but I think it didn't look too bad in the end. I'm just using an angled liner brush and the Tarte concealer in light medium sand, and basically just I found that using sort of patting motions seemed to make it more clean than dragging, and basically just carving out my lid shape. And then I'm going to set that concealer with some translucent powder once I'm done. By spritzing my flat shader brush with some setting spray, it just intensifies the colour of the shadow a little bit. So I just picked up the shade Electra, and I'm just going to be packing that all over my lid, basically where I just put the concealer. And don't mind me here, I just had to flip my mirror over because I could not actually see what I was doing and I needed to magnify it. Otherwise, I would have to get so close to the mirror that you would not be able to see me. Anyway, and then I just continue to pack this on, just making sure I don't go over where I put that concealer because we want it to have a very defined line with the cut crease. And then once I finished that, I just popped off camera and I did my winged liner and I popped some lashes on. Here I am back with lashes and liner. I'm just going to be taking the Lumi Magic Primer by L'Oreal, and there goes my cat, and I'm just massaging that into my skin And then for foundation, I use the Double Wear by Estee Lauder in the shade 1 and 2, I believe. I honestly couldn't find a shade on the back of it. And I just applied that all over my face using a foundation brush. And then to blend it out, I used a damp Real Techniques beauty sponge. Just by using pressing motions, I push the product into my skin. This leaves a really nice, flawless look to the skin without it looking cakey. For concealer, I use the Maybelline Age Rewind in Light Fair, popping that underneath my eyes in triangles, and then under my contour, my chin, on my nose and my forehead, and then taking my mini beauty sponge that's damp and just pressing that into the skin in the same technique that I did with my foundation. And then I'm going to be just popping that sponge into some loose mineral powder by Nude by Nature is the brand I used. And I'm just going to be baking underneath my eyes and then pushing that underneath my contour and a little bit on my forehead. And then for setting the rest of my face, I took the Australis Ready Set Go powder and just a powder brush and made sure that that was all nice and set. For bronzer, I just used the Hoola Bronzer by Benefit Cosmetics and just popped that on my cheeks, on my forehead, a little bit on my nose, under my jaw, and just warmed up my face and brought a little bit more colour there before I go and contour. And I just used the Real Techniques multitask brush to do this. Then for contour, I just took my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette and mixing the two lighter shades on a fluffy angled brush, I just carved out underneath my cheekbones. I just brushed it on the side of my nose a little bit, popped it on my forehead a little bit, underneath my jaw, and a little bit underneath my lip. And then I'm just brushing away the remaining powder from when I was baking, and then added the two lighter shades again in the palette and just using that to brighten my under eyes and a little bit on my chin, basically everywhere that I put that concealer earlier. For blush, I just took the more pink shade from this massive Estee Lauder kit thing I found in my cupboard, and I just patted that over my cheeks. And then I just, now that my lash glue had set, I took my tweezers and I just pushed the band of the false lashes and my natural lashes together to make it appear a little more natural or a little less obvious, if you will. Then mixing Jupiter and Venus on a pencil brush, I just ran that underneath my lower lash line and then put Electra in the center, and then I put Aphrodite either side of the blue to make it pop a little more. To open up my eyes a little bit more, I took the Scandal Eyes by Rimmel in Nude and I just popped that on my bottom waterline, and then I just popped some mascara on my bottom lashes and a little bit on my top to blend in those falsies a little more. I'm using the Essence Princess mascara, I think it is. I will link a video of Lauren Curtis's down below. Honestly, this mascara is so good. And then just for inner corner highlight, I took the shade Earth and I popped that in the corner of my eyes. And then for my actual highlighter, I used the shade Satin from the same palette. This colour, honestly, it actually looks so beautiful on the skin. I couldn't believe it. It was just like a really nice gold, but it wasn't too dark. I really, really, really liked how this looked. So yeah, I just dusted it over my cheekbones, just on my cupid's bow, and then popped a little bit on my nose, and then around the tip of my brow, I suppose you'd call it. And now for lips, I just took this brown lip liner pencil and I just overdrew my lips ever so slightly. I like to do this particularly on my bottom lip. You'll see here, I just overdraw it very, very slightly. It just makes my lips look a little bit fuller. And then for lipsticks, I use the Rimmel Lasting Finish by Kate lipstick in Rossetto, number 38 it is. I'm not too sure if that's how you pronounce it. And then I just went back in with that pencil and just made sure it was nice and blended. Finally, I just set my face with the NYX matte finishing spray, and yeah, just to make sure that my makeup lasts all night long. Alrighty, so that is the end of the video. I really hoped you liked watching this video and that you learned something new, and if you have any comments, don't forget to leave them in the description box below, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye!